you do? Before I pursue, I want you to excuse my wild ass crew. I'm Herb McGruff, you smoking like that herb I puff. Little cutie, hips got the curves and stuff. Here's my Roman numerals. I'm a wise guy, know what you're getting into, boo. Specialize in tombstones and funerals. Lit a fast life.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Today we're taking a look at a fragrance that came out of nowhere to quickly become one of my favorite, if not the favorite, gourmand scent in my collection. The fragrance is called Paris LA, and the house is called A Lab on Fire. And this house was on my radar a little bit because what we do in Paris is secret, made the rounds as sort of a hot niche scent a while back. And then Adriana from Decant Shop sent me a sample of Liquid Night, and I thought that scent was okay, not great, but you know, a decent niche scent. I never really wanted a bottle from this house, even though I thought the concept was cool. And then I saw this one come out, I think, on Lucky Scent, and I looked at the note breakdown, and I've always sort of been looking for a scent that had a Coca-Cola vibe to it. I try not to drink soda anymore, but my favorite beverage is actually ice-cold Coca-Cola. You know, it's funny because I used to watch this show on Food Network when it started called Taste by this guy, David Rosegarden, who was a big food and wine guy, and pairing wine and food. And he used to make a dish, and then he would pair it with the best drink he could pair it with. So usually he'd make, like, you know, a French dish, and he'd pair it with like a Pinot Noir or a Chardonnay. And then he would do like Chinese food, and he'd pair it with like a Pilsner. So he would just, you know, really show you what you should be drinking when you eat certain dishes. And when he did an episode on just a hamburger and fries, he said, look, the best thing to drink with this, and he poured himself a glass of ice cold Coca-Cola. And I think he's right. You know, I think there's certain things that Coke is just amazing with, and on its own it's amazing as well. But when I was into mixology and cocktails, I really got into the higher end colas. Like, there's one from London called Fentiman's Curiosity Cola, which is just incredible. Boylan's Sugarcane Cola, and my favorite, honestly, which has become quite popular and hipsterish in recent time, is Mexican Coca-Cola. And of course, in Mexico and in the rest of the world, corn isn't subsidized, so high fructose corn syrup isn't used as a sweetener. Instead, the rest of the world uses natural cane sugar. And anyone who's tasted a product made with natural cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup knows there's a huge difference in taste. The cane sugar leads it to be much cleaner and crisper. So I've been looking for a cola scent and really hadn't yet found anything that delivered that authentic, sort of spicy and sweet, effervescent aroma. So I saw this one, and then I saw that Dell, Bottom Note, a reviewer Dell, did a review on this, and I was thinking of blind buying this at the time. When I watched his review, it sort of made me think that this might not have great performance. I really enjoyed the review. And it really made me want to, but it also made me want to try it before buying it. So when I picked up a bottle of Lyra from by Xerjoff from Twisted Lily, which I reviewed a few weeks ago, I also asked if I could have a sample of this. I got some other samples as well: Rose Kandahar by Tower, Merkazadi by Mona de Oreo, XJ Homme by Xerjoff, and Junkie by Jardin de Cremont. And I got a sample of this, and I love this, and I really like Junkie, and I debated on which one to purchase first, and this one was just so different and so fun and gourmand. And so the day after receiving the sample of this, I did order a full bottle. And before we talk about the fragrance, let's talk about the house briefly. Really, A Lab on Fire is a newer house that started in 2010 in the United States, and basically the idea behind this house was to get some of the biggest names in the industry and let them make original fragrances of very high quality for an affordable price point. And they've had folks like Alberto Morales, Bruno Jovanovic, Carlos Benem, Terry Wasser, Dominique Ropion, Olivier Poage. All of those guys have done scents for this house, and most of them top out at $110. So they're very affordable niche scents, and actually more affordable than a lot of designer stuff nowadays. Now, in New York City, Mint used to carry this line. I do not think that they do anymore, so the only place to give these a real solid look is at Twisted Lily in Brooklyn, where I ordered mine from. Online, you can check these out at Lucky Scent, and I believe Decant Shop has a few of their scents You could get decants and sample sizes. This one, Paris LA, as of this video, is their newest fragrance, and the idea behind this fragrance was to use two very specific notes and accords to represent Paris and LA. For Paris, it was the macaron. Now, macaron is often confused with macaroons. Macaroons are sort of these little coconut cookies, and macarons are also little cookies, but they have a creamy almond paste center, and they're famous to Paris, and they're one of my far and away favorite little pastry desserts. And on the LA side, what they were going to use, something synonymous with the United States, is of course that Coca-Cola. Now, the perfumer who came up with this concept and executed the scent is Laurent Laguerre. He's done a bunch of other scents, including quite a few for Bond No. 9. He did Andy Warhol Montauk, Highline, Astor Place, the two Harrods for him and Harrods for her, and he's done work for some designer houses as well, including Michael Kors and Marc Jacobs. This one was released in 2014, and it comes in one size, 60 ml, one concentration as well, EDP, and your price is going to be $110. The notes on this are key lime, ginger, cola accord, neroli, petals, coriander seed, thyme, macaron accord, amber, and musk. Now, your presentation, a little bizarre. These come in these bags. These sealed bags that you rip open, they're sort of silver. It has a fragrance name here, Paris LA. It says, "Let the mystery begin." I'm not really sure. Let the mystery, well, I don't know what that says. Also, this seems to be a day one edition, which is number 24 out of 99, so I'm not sure. I guess maybe Twisted Lily got these really early, and then you have your ingredients on the back, and it does say eau de parfum. So, a little bag, and then your bottle is, it has like, it doesn't have a cap, it just has this little foam piece over the atomizer, and this thing, this is like a Creed, master blast in terms of what comes out of this guy. In your bottle, you have the name on the front, Paris LA, a lab on fire, 60 ml, 2 fluid ounces, and if you hold this up to the light, you can see how much juice you have in the bottle. Not really from this angle, but if you hold it up to light, you can see that. So I think the presentation is pretty cool. I guess I would have liked a box, but if you're charging me $110 and no box, I can definitely live with that. And of course, a lab on fire, so you do have this flaming beaker almost, it looks like. So cool little detail there. And this one, guys, is really something to behold. I mean, this is so different than other gourmands out there. It's absolutely, to me at least, incredible. So what I get out of this at top is like a fizzy glass of Coca-Cola with some lime in the mix. So it's got this citrusy kick, but then the spiciness of the cola is really cut through with this light and bright nature of the key lime. And even though there are no aldehydes in this scent, it does retain that sparkling and crispness about it. Really unusual, really well done opening. As it dries down, you start to get the macaron accord, and it does smell a little bit like sweet almond paste. Sort of that Tonka Imperial vibe in the middle of this fragrance. I think this is a pretty linear perfume. You start to get little almond cookie hints towards the middle of this fragrance, and as it dries down, about hour 6 or so, it boils down to like an ambery cola mixture that's really nice. It also sort of has this vanilla powderiness about it in its end stages. I have to be honest with you guys, it's one of the hardest fragrances I've ever had to describe because there's really no reference point for what this smells like. This is like nothing else that I've come across. I find performance on this to be really good. I get 8 to 10 hours, and if I spray it on my clothing, way more than that. Doesn't have exceptional sillage or projection, but because of the nature of the scent and its sweetness, I don't think you want this leaping off of your skin. It's kind of one of those come closer if you want to know fragrances, and I think for me it performs perfectly. If you want the loudest scent in the room, this one might not be for you. It's totally unisex, really 100% unisex, easily could work for a man or a woman. Occasion-wise, isn't something I'd say you should wear at the office. I think that this is a romantic, cuddling fragrance and a night out fragrance. And of course, it's going to do great for you on an evening out. Great for that purpose. I would say it's a 3-season fragrance with its best performance for spring and fall. In the summer, I can think it might be a little bit too rich and have a little bit too much body for the real heat. If you couldn't get your hands on this and wanted to try something else like it, I have no idea what to tell you, to be honest with you. Tonka Imperial will give you that sort of almondy macaron vibe, but not the Coca-Cola vibe. There's just not many fragrances out there like this one. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. So I really can't give you insight to what might work well for this. A company called Outtreamer has a fragrance called Cola, but I don't know whether it smells like this or not. I think that someone trying to convince you to buy this would probably tell you that there is nothing else like it. I'm saying it again. The price is excellent on this, $110 for 60 ml of EDP, right? That's good. No, everyone knows that. Also, no one else is going to smell like you, because unless they have this fragrance, there's no way to do it. On the flip side, if someone was trying to talk you out of buying this, I think they'd say that it's sort of a love it or hate it scent, and you really do have to like this to like it. It's very sweet and very specific. It smells like something that's very certain. So there's not a lot of room for interpretation. It is what it is, and either you're going to like it or you're not, and it's not a safe blind buy. You should get your nose on it before you commit to a bottle, and it doesn't have outrageous performance. And then I think the last thing they might say is that the presentation, obviously with the bag, isn't incredible. For me, this is an amazing fragrance, and I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. I'm only taking a half point away because it's not an amazing performer, and it's not the most versatile fragrance I've ever come across. But the juice is fucking incredible. I can't speak highly enough of the job that I think a Lab on Fire did here. There's nothing else out there like this. This is the 7th time I've said it, and they nailed what they wanted to do. Make a fragrance that would take these very two different cultural food and beverages and marry them together in a way that would make sense. Job accomplished. You guys got to check this one out to believe it. My name is Maximilian. I must know. This has been
all up in your grill as if you was famous. She says her name's Amani, half black, half Italiani. Nails all done, sporting Moschino on her body. She 5'3", straight out the NYC, telling me some other cute girls gruff with me.